headline should be on screen. Got a lot of news to get to today. Like and share the show. Whatever platform you're watching upon, can you like and share the show? We're excited to connect with you guys through the I Love CVille network, the water cooler of content and conversation in Charlottesville and in Central Virginia. We're going to talk the University of Virginia and the Wall Street Journal, ladies and gentlemen. The University of Virginia is in the Wall Street Journal. Thank you to a viewer and listener who sent me a screenshot. Mike, is it Hagel? I appreciate you, Mike, for sending me the screenshot from today's journal with the University of Virginia in the world's newspaper. A lot we're going to cover, including former Charlottesville mayor, Commonwealth of Virginia political institution David Toscano, ripping Rachel Sheridan, and Glenn Youngkin in today's Daily Progress. The swords are sharp, and people aren't fighting Judah with their fists and with weaponry. They're fighting with the written and spoken word and Mont Blanc pens. I would say typewriters, but I don't think anyone uses a typewriter. You think David Toscano uses a typewriter?
I kind of doubt it.
I don't think Toscano's using a typewriter. In fact, I see David Toscano. David watches this program. I see David Toscano, I'd say once or twice a week. He's a good man. I know he doesn't use a typewriter. He uses a computer. He's got a fantastic corner office in a fantastic building with a fantastic view on the downtown mall. You got a great office there, David. A lot we're going to cover on the show. Like and share the show. Like and share the show. The program is going to get rocking and rolling in a matter of moments. We live on LinkedIn, Judah. We are live on Twitter. I'll confirm LinkedIn. I'll confirm. You just make sure you got a two-shot ready to go, and you're ready to rock and roll with lower thirds. You're doing a great job. If you're watching on Twitter, retweet the show. T-minus 30 seconds till we start the program, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to talk Tony Elliott, national semifinalist for Coach of the Year. How about that for Tony Elliott? Your football coach could be the Coach of the Year in the nation, ladies and gentlemen. That's pretty awesome. We are live on LinkedIn, Judah. All right, we can rock and roll, Judah, when you're ready. You're ready to offer which headline you find most compelling and why, right? I try not to surprise you with the first one to get you kind of in the groove, my friend. All right, let's get the program started.
Quiet on the set.
We'll start by giving some love to Conan and Sir Speedy J-Dubs. Good Thursday afternoon, guys. I'm Jerry Miller. Thank you kindly for joining us on the I Love CVille show. It's a pleasure to connect with you guys through the I Love CVille network, a show that is the water cooler of content and conversation in Charlottesville and in Central Virginia. A lot we're going to cover on the broadcast today, including Governor-elect Abigail Spanberger and the University of Virginia getting hammered in the Wall Street Journal. That conversation on today's show. We're going to talk David Toscano ripping Glenn Youngkin and Rachel Sheridan and the Daily Progress. We're going to talk a $300,000 earmarked taxpayer allocation for an environmental remediation for the City Yard and the Star Hill neighborhood. When is that going to happen? We'll talk Sweetbriar College, and for the second straight year, an esteemed private school for women in the Commonwealth of Virginia is facing an enrollment decline, second straight year. Is that an indication of what's to come for future universities and colleges? I just am not bullish on the four-year college and university business model anymore. Unless you're one of the top 5 or 10% colleges and universities out there, you have serious headwinds, ladies and gentlemen. We'll talk about that on today's program. We'll talk Roback's grand opening in the shops, the Barracks Road Shopping Center. Tony Elliott being on the short list for National Coach of the Year. Yes, National Coach of the Year. He's a semifinalist. If Tony Elliott beats Virginia Tech, and if Tony Elliott makes the ACC championship game and happens to win the ACC championship and secures a spot in the college football playoff, you're probably looking at Tony Elliott as your National Coach of the Year, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to talk about that on the program. And we'll talk Old Dominion National Bank and a grand opening on the near horizon on West Main Street in the Flats. This is the building where Mexicali is located. Some of these vacant storefronts are finally getting filled on West Main Street. This is a fantastic rundown of content for you, the viewer and listener, as we are today's version of your newspaper for you. Judah Wickower is behind the camera, director and producer of the Fine and Fair Talk Show. We'll give some props, Judah Wickower, to Conan Owen of Sir Speedy of Central Virginia. He did the banner directly behind me. He's got the vinyl lettering on our storefront, Sir Speedy of Central Virginia. He's helping us with our tenant portfolio, 24 doors, and the signage associated with that portfolio, updating them, improving them. He's helping us in other commercial building positions that we're a part of from a consultancy or management or council standpoint. And I've seen firsthand with our client roster, our firm's client roster, of how Conan Owen and Sir Speedy of Central Virginia have done a very good job of being a business ally for small, medium, and large-sized businesses locally. He's a Darden graduate. He's who you contact for any signage need you may have. Carol Thorpe, Philip Dow, Vanessa Parkhill, welcome to the broadcast. If you're watching the show, I don't ask you for compensation. I don't ask you for pittance. I don't ask you for donation. I just want you to hit the like button. Share the show. That's it. Retweet the show. Like the show. Share the show. Tom Powell says he loves our program and it helps keep him connected in the area. He's the founder of the Toy Lift. We featured the Toy Lift yesterday with the current president in front of the program, Dave Fafara. Tom Powell, also a program. You need to donate to the Toy Lift, ladies and gentlemen. The Toy Lift is the start of the holiday season in the Charlottesville area. Contribute toys, contribute volunteer time, contribute money. It doesn't keep going without our community support, and the Toy Lift is something special. James Watson, welcome to the broadcast. Dave Warwick, Jehu Martin, Stephanie Wells Rhodes, Betsy Nugent, fantastic forehand on Betsy Nugent, just an all-around awesome player. Awesome woman, Betsy Nugent. Love you, Betsy. Studio camera, J-Dubs? Two-shot you. It's funny, and Judah, here we are at the end of 2025, going into, you got some branding in there for the Toy Lift too? Gosh, you get a gold star today.
Oh, thank you.
It's not even a payday Friday today. It's a baby Friday Thursday on a non-payday week, but props to you, my friend.
Thank you.
Nicely done. You're helping the kiddos who need the toy. How about the number? More than 700,000 children have benefited from the Toy Lift
Yeah.
in the last 36 years.
That is amazing. That's wonderful. My family has occasionally taken part in similar types of things. Of course, we've given toys for the toy drive, but we've also through our church done things, and it's a great feeling being able to give something to someone. In fact, they call it the season of giving, and as kids, we're always looking for what we're getting under the tree, but really what really warms your heart is being able to give to someone else.
The Toy Lift is Friday, December 5th, so 14 days and counting to the Toy Lift. I mentioned this to Dave Fafara yesterday. This community is overwhelmed with like an abundance of resources and riches.
Yeah.
We talk about these resources and riches all the time. We talk about AstraZeneca, $4.5 billion.
Mm-hmm.
We talk about 600 jobs tied to this facility in northern Elmore County, with an average of the 600 jobs AstraZeneca is bringing to Charlottesville of $125,000 per job. We talk about the Paul Manning Biotech Institute on Fontaine. Yeah. What is that, a 9-figure check written by the multi-billionaire Paul Manning to UVA?
As well as the massive amounts and numbers of donations that go to UVA on a yearly basis as well.
The football team's got a salary cap, this football roster of essentially $30 million. You want to know why this football team's so good? The number's $30 million, ladies and gentlemen. That's the cost of this roster. Your quarterback, Chandler Morris, is a few days younger than Jaden Daniels. He's making $1.3 million a year. This past Saturday in Durham, he lined up against a Duke quarterback that's on a 2-year, $8 million contract. You want to be good in sports in college now? It's millions of dollars a donation. We talk about the show that if Virginia makes the football team, the college football playoff, there's an anonymous donor that's ready to reward the athletic department and the football program with a $10 million plus donation. You know who it is, know what it's about. Don't have the right to say it. It's not my news to break, but I do have the approval to mention $10+ million check is on the near horizon if this football team makes the college football playoff, thanks to a very deep-pocketed individual. We talk about the HUD median family household income, Judah. Just under $126,000 median family household income for the Charlottesville metro area. When that number comes out in a few months, Judah, that number's going to be even higher.
No doubt.
Talk about the data science school. We talk about all this abundance of resources and riches. What we don't talk about on this program is 700,000 kids, more than 700,000 kids, in the last 36 years of a nonprofit that didn't have any toys on Christmas Day.
Yeah.
And there's few things on my short list as a father of 2 young children, a 3-year-old, a kid who turns 3 on Thanksgiving, a kid who's 7, high energy kids. Good night, they're high energy. Ran around last night in our house, 8:45 at night. My wife and I put them to bed. We divide and conquer. One of us takes the oldest, reads a book to the oldest. The other one takes the youngest. I say, if it's my turn with the youngest, get in the poop position. The poop position means lie down on the ground so I can change your diaper and get your diaper clean and ready for bed. Then I put his jammies on. I tuck him on. I burrito baby him in blankets. Our youngest, are you ready for the burrito baby? He goes, burrito baby, daddy. Then I turn on his nightlight. I turn on his white noise maker. I make sure the kid camera, the baby cam is pointed to him and ready to go. And my wife and I walk out the door of our boys' rooms, their respective rooms, at around 8:15 last night. That's late for them, especially a 3-year-old. They're night owls. We head to our room. I got a nice cold IPA in my hand. My wife's exhausted after looking after a soon-to-be 3-year-old. We put on something on Netflix. She's super into House right now. She's watching the Netflix show, The House. We're binge watching it. And 15 minutes later, both our boys are sprinting into our room, buck-ass naked, no clothes on, running around in circles, wild animals, giddy with energy, while we are straight up exhausted, trying to jump and wrestle each other while they are completely naked. We look at each other, we scream, get to your room. That's not going to work with a 2-year-old. It's not like he's going to dress himself. So we head back into the room, dress him, poo position, diaper, burrito baby again, and then we have to utilize a little bit of threatening language like, hey, Santa's watching. Do you want to be on the naughty list or the good list? And it's in that moment when we finally got him down that I realized that my entire world, my wife's entire world, are these 2 boys, our hearts walking and living and breathing outside our body. We do anything for them, even if they aggravate the bejeebus out of us, which they do. We love them dearly. And the whole point of this story is, as a father of 2 boys, 700,000 kids in the last 36 years of Toy Lift that woke up in the morning and did not have any toys to open. There's few things in my life as a parent that I find more saddening than that. Yeah. And to see what Tom Powell and Dave Pafar and Toy Lift are doing, this is special. It's what makes the community special. And as the water cooler of content and conversation, the I Love CVille show in Charlottesville and Central Virginia, we can champion the abundance of riches and resources, but we have to have frank conversations that there is a lot of people, thousands of people in this community that aren't just, it's not just scraping by,
Yeah.
that can't give toys to their children. And think about it from the parent's perspective.
Oh, it's
Not just the kid's perspective.
it's sad for the kids, but for the parents, it's heartbreaking to not be able to provide whatever it is, whether it's presents, whether it's food, whether it's a roof over the head of your child. That is, I can't imagine the heartbreak of
the sense of demoralization and not feeling worthy.
Yeah.
And anyone that's in that position, it's not that. If you're a parent and you're just winning the battle of raising humans to be good people and keeping the lights on and food on the table, the rent paid, the mortgage paid, some gas in the car, some groceries in the fridge, then damn it, parents, you're doing a phenomenal job. We're blasted and inundated, thanks to YouTube, thanks to social media, thanks to commercialization, that these kids need an abundance of toys, an abundance of stuff. Dude, when I was a kid growing up, I don't know how it was with you. We got one big toy for Christmas. I get a golf club on some days, some Christmas, maybe a bike. Maybe like a baseball mitt, maybe a football or a tennis racket. It was always sports related, probably because they wanted us outside. Now it's like the commercialization of Christmas. It makes it seem like we constantly have to have hundreds of gifts under the tree. You're doing a good job, moms and dads, and dads and dads, and moms. If you got groceries in the fridge, the rent paid, the mortgage paid, the electric bill paid, gas in the car, and you're giving your kids love. And don't let commercialized America tell you otherwise. All right.
Don't let your kids watch commercials either.
Don't let your kids on screen time. Lot to cover on the program. How about the Wall Street Journal? Headline on screen. I love you guys, viewers and listeners. I sincerely mean this. I love doing the show with you guys. Wall Street Journal. Judah, lower third on screen. You got this UVA soap opera is in the world's newspaper.
Yeah.
The University of Virginia soap opera is in the world's newspaper, thanks to a viewer and listener who took a screenshot of the journal this morning, sent me the article, Spamberger's premature takeover of UVA, with the pool quote from the article, the governor-elect tells the school to wait for her to pick a new leader. The soap opera is gaining momentum.
Oh, and there's dueling banjos coming from Wall Street Journal and Daily Progress.
Daily Progress, owned by Lee Enterprise, fantastic organization. David Toscano's published in the Daily Progress, the former mayor of Charlottesville, the institutional delegate, Virginia delegate, an icon in Commonwealth politics. David Toscano has a fabulous corner office and an iconic 8-story building on the downtown mall. Sweeping views all around. Great guy, David Toscano. Pens a letter to the Daily Progress, ripping.
I think it's an article. It's,
First-hand perspective and commentary, ripping Rachel Sheridan and Glenn Youngkin.
Yeah.
We have a fight in front of the world that is not with machetes and machine guns. We have a fight in front of the world that is not with bombs and flamethrowers, but instead it's with MacBooks and Mont Blancs. MacBooks and Mont Blancs are the weapon of choice for the players in this pit, in this field, in this brouhaha. And I'll try to dot the I's and cross the T's in the most unpolitical way possible. Spamberger is overreaching by telling the Board of Visitors, don't do anything until I'm in office.
Yeah.
Glenn Youngkin's left the board in the University of Virginia in an absolute disarray. The Trump administration and his cronies at the Department of Justice have overreached with trying to manipulate the University of Virginia. Jim Ryan did a piss-poor job with managing the University of Virginia. Craig Kent, damn near criminal what he's done with this white-collar racketeering and the Kenterprise. Rachel Sheridan, shame on her for this backroom wheeling and dealing. Porter Wilkinson, I'm putting you in that pot as well, Porter. Every single person in this equation has egg on the face. Every single person. And now all these players are trying to do, from the DOJ and Trump to Jim Ryan and Craig Kent and Rachel Sheridan and Porter Wilkinson and Glenn Youngkin and Abigail Spanberger, they're all trying to recreate or reposition their brand, personal, in real time, and save or salvage their legacy and long time in the future. That's all they're doing. And the only people that really take it here, who's the losers here? Certainly the patients at the health system. Students. Parents questioning whether it's worth it to go $250,000 in debt for them to go here. I mean, one of our headlines, you can put them on screen. You're rotating lower thirds on screen, right? How about the Sweetbriar College story? Sweetbriar College saw a decline in enrollment this fall for the second year in a row. That's from data from the State Council of Higher Education for Virginia. This comes more than a year after the private women's college in Amherst County changed its admissions policy to ban transgender students more than a decade after its near closure. Sweetbriar's total enrollment this year, 373 students from 438 last year. Mary Baldwin struggling with enrollment. Ladies and gentlemen, viewers and listeners of all shapes and sizes, put your hand in the air if you're bullish on four-year colleges and universities right now. My prediction, and it's not a novel or bold prediction, unless your four-year college or university is at the pinnacle of the profession, the pinnacle of higher education, your model is one that has major headwinds. Because the cost of operating, your operating budget, your yearly budget, the cost of running your school is going up while your demand is going down. Because the internet and technology, ubiquitous and approachable, is democratizing education, while artificial intelligence is cannibalizing the jobs that are being birthed from these four-year degrees. You and I are very different on this AI thing. This AI thing, my vantage point, is going to slice and dice human beings in their jobs.
I don't disagree with that. That's part of my problem with it.
You what?
I don't necessarily disagree with that assessment, but that's part of my problem with AI.
It's, what do they call this? AI is today's version of the Industrial Revolution.
Yeah, more or less.
Put that in perspective for the viewers and listeners.
Well, the Industrial Revolution was originally thought to be a big step for mankind, and it would help streamline processes. It would help people it would help people do their jobs faster, more efficiently. Of course, what ended up happening is the people that buy the machines that do the industrializing realize that you need less people to do what once you get the processes in place, you don't need the same 20 people to run a piece of machinery that does that exact same job. You might only need 4 or 5 people. So you end up with a lot of people looking for jobs somewhere else. And I think the same thing is happening with AI. It's seen as a tool, which it is, and it can be very helpful. I don't deny that, but what I think in the end is going to happen is that the companies that are going to figure out how to use it, they're going to hire people to help them use it better, and then they're going to fire those people and a lot of other people once they figure out the best way to make it cost worthy.
Profits over people, 100%. Okay, he basically says this is like a George Jetson scenario. Meet the Jetsons. The maid at the Jetson family was a robot. This is like a Star Trek scenario. This is like a R2-D2 scenario. Okay? This is like a Marty McFly Back to the Future 2 scenario. When he goes into the 80s diner in Back to the Future 2 and he's getting served by robots. Okay? Sweetbriar College enrollment dropping. Put your hand in the air if you're a mom and dad and you want your kid to go to a 4-year college that's a middle-of-the-road college or a lower-tiered college, uncertain what your kid's going to major in, knowing they're going to come out $150,000 to $250,000 in debt, and by the time they come out of college 4 years from now and start an entry-level job, AI and technology is going to be even more ubiquitous and approachable than it was when she started the 4-year track. Who wants to do that? Who wants to do that knowing that the electrician, the plumbing, the work with your hands track, the remodeling track is not going to be replaced by the artificial intelligence? This Sweetbriar story is foreshadowing of what's to come for other 4-year colleges. The value proposition of the education must be much more than book learning. You take a school like Hampton-Sydney College. Hampton-Sydney College, fantastic private school in Farmville. The value proposition of a Hampton-Sydney College is its network of alumni that take care of its graduating base. You take a school like the Ivy League, same thing. UVA, same type of thing. The middle of the road, lower tier ones, no way, Jose. Conan Owen, plus the natural administrative burden of academic types is killing schools with overhead. We could lose 1/3 of colleges in Virginia and no one would notice other than the alumni. It's from Conan. Jason Noble's photo on screen. Artificial intelligence is a new technological presence we have to adapt to. If we aren't ahead of it, we are behind it. I put some... I was talking to a buddy of mine. He syndicates real estate deals, right? So
Syndicates?
He syndicates real estate deals. I'll put it in a
Like a newsletter?
No, it's not that at all. I'll put it in a nutshell what he does. What he does is he finds opportunity to buy real estate, and he's the promoter. He goes to his syndicate of investors, and he puts a model together. And this business model might be Excel-based, PowerPoint-based. It's a very detailed in projections and pro forma and revenue projections, rent roll projections, overhead, net operating income, just basically the business model of the deal. And he has anywhere from 8 to 15 of these deals in the mix that he's syndicating to various investor groups. And how he makes his money is a promote fee up front, where he gets a percentage of the deal. He makes his money by getting some equity, and makes his money by getting a management fee. That's very simple terms. And he hopes one of these 8 to 15 deals that he has going, that 1 or 2 hit. He may, in the grand scheme of things, do 1, 2, 3 deals a year. It's very, very sophisticated in what he's doing. He has indicated to me, with artificial intelligence and how he's got it dialed in, putting this package together, this detailed package, where he had a graphic designer as part of the presentation. It's like a 50, 60, 70-page deck that was being presented to, 100+ millionaires.
Yeah.
He'd have graphic designers in there, copywriters in there, photographers in there. He'd have people helping him do the modeling, putting together, and it said it would take him anywhere from 3 to 5 weeks to put the package together, soup to nuts. He said now with artificial intelligence, he's doing it in a mere days. And all these people that were a part of the presentation package, few of them are a part of it now. He's streamlined everything.
Yeah.
And most importantly, he saved the time. What's it going to be like in 4 years? Sweetbriar College down, UVA and the University of Virginia in the Wall Street Journal. David Toscano fighting Spamberger. David Toscano, fighting Youngkin and Rachel Sheridan with MacBooks and Mont Blancs. Wild time to be alive. Judah Wickower, next headline. What do we got on screen, my friend? And while we're at it, my friend, let's give some love to just a fabulous company, Charlottesville Sanitary Supply, 61 consecutive years in business. Charlottesville Sanitary Supply, ladies and gentlemen, is who you contact for anything sanitary related, anything cleaning related, anything swimming pool related, anything vacuum repair related. Miele vacuums, the best vacuums you can possibly buy are the Miele vacuum.
Yeah.
They will last you and your family 15 to 20 years. There's no better vacuum to purchase than the Miele vacuum, and Charlottesville Sanitary Supply has the rights to sell those on East High Street and online at charlottesvillesanitarysupply.com. Their website, charlottesvillesanitarysupply.com, is frankly better than anything you could find online at Amazon or anything else. And they do free in-market delivery.
Yeah.
Many cases day of. Andrew Vermillion, A-plus people, flying chest bumps for the Vermillions. Love those guys. I sincerely mean that.
Yeah.
William McChesney, welcome to the program. Philip Dow says, we're seeing a civil war for power and recognition at UVA. A civil war for power and recognition. John Blair watching the program. Get Johnny Blair's photo on screen. Had a fantastic conversation with Mr. Blair's wife last night. Fabulous person. He said, he said, my wife said she saw you and your son playing squash yesterday and that he's going to be quite the star. Thank you for saying that. She was very kind, and thank you for saying that. We are putting in the work. In fact, I hope, is Stephen O'Dwyer watching the program right now? Is Stephen watching the program? He's the head squash coach at the Boar's Head. Stephen O'Dwyer is the type of human being you want your sons or daughters around. I want my kids around Stephen O'Dwyer as much as possible. I sincerely mean that. Someone tell Stephen O'Dwyer I said that. John Blair says, here's an interesting story. Colleges are so desperate for applicants that they now have a one-click application process. That is a sign of struggle and a need for revenue. Here's the story, and then he shares the link on my LinkedIn. One-click application process. If our sons...
It seems crazy with the way they've escalated the costs.
They can't help it.
They can help it.
How? They can help it. How? They have to keep the costs going up for the colleges and universities because the labor associated with the college and universities are unionizing. They're collective bargaining.
But
they're coming out.
Prices...
Think about it this way, Judah, and you jump in. The colleges and universities are hiring people that have massive student debt themselves. And the only way those colleges and universities can keep the talent, the professors, the assistant professors, the research fellows, the grad students who all have massive student debt, the only way they can keep them in this educational sector of college and university is paying them money that keeps them in a cush job as opposed to them pursuing the private sector that's way less cush. The private sector, the expectations, the hours, the stress, much more grueling than academia. The reason people pursue academia is many reasons. One of them is obviously to make a difference in the next generation's life by helping to mold their mind. We hope that is the main reason, right? But the clear perks of academia are cush, less stress, especially when you get to tenure and you can never get fired once you're tenured. These folks, when they're in a position where they can never get fired and are paid $100,000, $200,000, $300,000, $400,000. Jim Ryan's getting paid $1 million to work 15 hours a week and has 14 months of accrued vacation. You got a guy who got fired from UVA, got resigned, was going to get fired if he didn't do it. Resign under duress, Jim Ryan. As part of his resignation package, he's got 14 months of paid leave where he's making $1 million in compensation per year over that 14-month period of time. Then he comes back after that 14 months, and he's making like $700,000 a year to teach a handful of classes at the law school.
Yeah.
His job, after resigning from UVA under duress and taking 14 months of paid leave where he's making $1 million plus, to come back to teach 2 or 3 classes and get paid $700,000, his job is way better being the teacher and making $700,000 and teaching 2 classes than making $1 million and being what?
A whipping boy?
A whipping boy. You agree?
Definitely the last part, 100%.
The reason colleges and universities are so expensive is because the labor associated with the colleges and universities is so expensive. And all these damn buildings that they're building around them. What is the operating budget just for electricity, for insurance, for maintenance and upkeep for these damn buildings at the University of Virginia? Their yearly budget is $5.2 million. That's insane. I'll say that again. Did you viewers and listeners know that the operating budget for the University of Virginia on a yearly basis is north of $5.2 billion? We learned that from Bert Ellis earlier this year. Unbelievable. Deep Throat. I'd love to see the photos you sent me, but they're not loading. Can you resend those photos to my Twitter DM? I'd love to see what you sent. Comments coming in quickly. Judah Wickower. Next headline, what do we got?
Oh, let's see. Next up, we've got $300,000 for environmental work.
I saw this in Sean Tubbs' newsletter. You ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
$300,000 in taxpayer money is just floating in the City Hall universe. And this $300,000 in taxpayer money, you ready for this, Judah?
Mm-hmm.
Is earmarked for the environmental remediation at City Yard in the Star Hill neighborhood.
So maybe they can do something with it eventually.
It's seen, Sean Tubbs reports this, as a precursor for any eventual development. There's a, what do you call it, a small area plan for the City Yard. I've talked about the City Yard for like a decade on this show. Gosh, the print on this is getting smaller. You know how life gives you like the big, you know how life gives you like a mocking and teasing middle finger?
All the time.
Life, you know how life is like constantly mocking you and teasing you and it seems like it's flicking you the bird? Here are a couple things I've noticed lately. Why is there less hair on my head and more hair in my ears and in my nose and on my back? Viewers and listeners, why do I have less hair on my head where I want the hair and more hair in my ears, nose, and my back where I don't want the hair? Viewers and listeners, why does life make the words smaller on the page and more difficult to read?
As you get older.
Why, viewers and listeners, do I need to take the font size of my phone and make it bigger? Or on my MacBook, zoom in to read the words? It's like life giving you the big middle finger. I had this conversation with my wife. Every year that goes by with our sons, every year, more expensive. Health insurance jumping 30%. Nothing's changing.
Yeah.
Kids are just getting older and more susceptible to injury and stuff. We're just getting older. School costs, more expensive. Clothes costs, more expensive. These kids, they don't stop eating food. My son, our oldest son this morning, had 4 Lego My Eggo waffles. 4.
It's good stuff there.
Then he walked out the door, grabbed an apple, and ate an apple in the car. What 7-year-old that must weigh 59 pounds eats 4 waffles and an apple before 7:15 in the morning? Jeez Louise. The Costco big box isn't even enough. The city yard. I'm getting distracted. Judy, you're distracting me. Distracting me. Before they can do anything with this phenomenal piece of property, the city yard, they need to figure out an environmental study and probably do some mold remediation. Got a client. Client's looking to scoop and score some commercial real estate. This commercial real estate, I'm not going to say where, not going to speak out of turn. We never do on this show. Everyone's like, how do you navigate doing this show without? I do it extremely well. That's how we get the information. This guy's looking to scoop up some commercial real estate, right? This client. There's a dry cleaner in the commercial real estate. If you're looking to scoop up a piece of commercial real estate and a dry cleaner has been in that location, you got to be very wary of the deal. Because those chemicals that the dry cleaner uses seeps into the ground. And any kind of remodeling work done, any kind of deal that you're kind of broker, any kind of product any kind of building you're going to sell, that dry cleaner and those chemicals that seep into the ground are going to show up and cause red flags and friction. This city yard thing, what kind of chemicals have seeped into this Star Hill neighborhood with how many acres is the city yard? I mean, is it 10 plus? Mm-hmm. Can you Google the city yard, Judah, and tell me how many acres is in there?
All right.
Charlottesville city yard should come up right away. What kind of chemicals have seeped into that ground? Explain to me, ladies and gentlemen, why the city of Charlottesville, in a landlocked 10.2 square mile city, 10.2 square mile city, explain to me why the Charlottesville is storing their trucks and their vehicles, their heavy equipment, and all their chemicals in the heart of the city at a city that has no room for development. I mean, the city yard piece of land, I've talked about this on previous shows. The most prized pieces of dirt for development in Charlottesville are the city yard, Ix Park, the Harry A. Wright junkyard by Beer Run. I guess now the land they bought from Wendell Wood on the banks of the Rivanna, where they kiboshed development that friend of the program, Bo Carrington, was going to do. So basically in Charlottesville, you have Ix Park, the city yard, the junkyard next to Beer Run, and the banks of the Rivanna River on High Street where Bo Carrington. Those are your 4 best pieces of property, undeveloped property in the city right now. And one of those 4 pieces is storing heavy equipment, machinery, vehicles, trucks, automobiles, basically junk for the city. Deep Throat's photo on screen. There was a coal gas facility there for decades on the city yard. $300,000 would probably cover a study. I'm guessing remediation is at least an order of magnitude higher than that. Oof. I would not be surprised if the remediation of the city yard was in the $5 billion range. Do you have a number on the acreage on that?
I believe it's 9.4.
So I said 10. I remember about 10 over there. Yolanda Harrell and New Hill Development, they did a small area plan of what the city yard could be. Tom Powell watching the program, it's like, he says this, it's like when you buy an old gas station because you want the dirt and you want to tear down the gas station. DEQ will be your worst nightmare. 100%. I saw that I helped a buddy do a deal a couple years ago. I'm not going to say where, There was a dry cleaner on there. It was an effing nightmare to find financing for this shopping center, and we had to go through a private lender, a hard money lender that actually offered pretty reasonable terms because traditional financing wasn't an option because of the dry cleaner. Imagine doing a deal. Imagine doing a deal where you work on something for 11 to 14 months. And then in the final stanza, your financing falls through because there was a dry cleaner on the site 12 years ago. Imagine doing that. And then having to scramble to figure out the financing after. We got it done. Comments coming in quick. Fastest way to lower the cost of college to ensure the value of the education is to take the government out of the student loan guarantees. That's from Conan Owen. 100% Conan Owen. 100%. This comment comes into play. And speaking of Conan Owen, put the bank headline on screen. Old Dominion National Bank, ladies and gentlemen, Old Dominion National Bank is coming to the flats on West Main Street. That's next to Mexicali. Old Dominion National Bank is coming to the flats next to Mexicali. Where's Old Dominion National Bank based out of? Thank you for that tip, Conan. I'm going to their contact page. Gosh, no one has just a contact page. Are there locations and hours? Old Dominion National Bank has a branch at Tyson's Corner, in Tyson's Corner, Virginia, a branch in Leesburg, Virginia. They have a branch in Tyson's Corner and Westwood Center. That's their main office. So their main office is Westwood Center Drive in Tyson's Corner. They have a branch in Haverford, Pennsylvania, an ATM only in Washington, D.C., a branch coming soon on West Main Street in the Flats. They have a North Garden branch on Plank Road, a Scottsville branch, a State College, Pennsylvania branch, two of them in State College, one in Boca Raton, Florida. So this is a small bank. This is a small bank. They're going to have a kind of a flagship location on West Main Street in the Flats, next to Mexicali. That place has been vacant forever. Some of those storefronts with the Standard across the way, where Potbelly's closed, they never open.
Yeah.
Never open. Philip Dow, mayor of Scottsville, is watching the program. He says they got a popular one in Scottsville. Thank you, mayor of Scottsville. Jason Noble, AI reduces so much overhead, it's insane. We can apply this to everything. People don't realize the job destruction that's on the horizon with artificial intelligence. Next headline, what do you got, Judah Wickhauer?
Well, let's see. Roback.
How about that? We broke this news on the I Love CVille show. We broke this news on the I Love CVille show months ago. Their grand opening is Saturday. Roback, ladies and gentlemen.
And there's some specials.
They're going to crush it there. I love Robacks. My favorite brand. I don't have a Roback quarter zip on, but my shirt underneath is Roback and my pants are Roback. I think I wear Roback pretty much every day.
Yeah.
A piece of Roback pretty much every day. It's fantastic. Breathes well. Roback, created by UVA Darden graduates. They're open in Barracks Road Shopping Center. The business model of Roback is genius. They scaled by putting their merchandise initially into the country club, golf, and tennis shops, which created an elevated customer base, which raised the visibility of their brand. Then they were genius with their play on social media.
Not to mention their branding.
Branding is genius.
I mean, think of it. They've got how many top tier schools that they cater to in their designs?
It's a true success story birthed here in Charlottesville. Roback and Barracks Road. They're going to crush it in Barracks Road.
First 100 customers get a $100 gift card Saturday.
You're going to be camping out for that Roback, Judah?
I just might with money like that on the line. Chandler Morris is going to be there for a meet and greet at 11.
Chandler Morris is a Roback University athlete.
And you'll get 20% off store-wide.
There you go. Can't beat that. Next headline, Judah Wickower, what do you got?
Let's see. Elliott?
I mean, dude, from outhouse to penthouse, right?
In the nick of time, too. Do you think he had another year?
No, he didn't have another year. If this didn't happen, he would have gotten fired. He's a semifinalist for the National Coach of the Year. Tony Elliott is a semifinalist for the National Coach of the Year. The Cavaliers are 9-2 overall. JerryRatcliffe.com reports this. Their best record through 11 games since 2007. They're atop the Atlantic Coast Conference standings at 6-1. Prior to this season, Virginia had won 9 or more games in a season just 8 times in the program's 136-year history.
8 times?
8 times.
Wow.
They've only had a double-digit winning season one other year.
Good Lord.
Tony Elliott, gosh, outhouse to penthouse, national semifinalist, and he's got Virginia Tech on the docket. I hope he steps on their throat and rubs some dirt in their eyes in Scott Stadium a week from Saturday. I got Hokie fans watching
And you like me
watching
now.
this program. Step on their throat, Tony, and get some dirt and rub it in their eyes as you try to make a push for the ACC championship. We'll give some love to Oak Valley Custom Hardscapes. Oak Valley Custom Hardscapes is who you contact for any hardscape need. And those hardscape needs could be bluestone patios or fire pits, outdoor living spaces and outdoor kitchens, or places to hang out and have an iced tea or a scotch or a bourbon or an IPA and watch the sunset or the sunrise. Swim and pool hardscape around your commercial building or your business. And remember, a hardscape, the return on investment is obviously financial, but it's return on experience, return on life. That's the value of a hardscape. Oak Valley Custom Hardscapes. Ladies and gentlemen, Judah Wickower, you were on point. You've been on point all week long. This business has been humming over here. 8:30 arrivals for Judah Wickower. I get here at 7. 8:30 arrivals, Judah Wickower. That's early for you. He normally likes to set his hours of 9:30 to 6. You got a pretty sweet gig. 9:30 to 6:30, right? Instead, 8:30 to 5:30. Do you want the 8:30 to 5:30 to be the norm, or you like the 9:30 to 6:30?
I mean, you and I both know that the traffic is
Yeah.
miles different between 8:30 and 9:30 and 5:30 and 6:30.
So you like the 9:30 to 6:30 because you avoid the traffic.
Yeah, don't have to worry about the insanity.
There you go. All right. That's why we do it. It's cool. He's a good person. This is the I Love CVille show. It's the water cooler of content and conversation in Charlottesville. It airs in its archive wherever you get your social media and podcasting content. We love you guys. We love you guys. Thank you for watching the program. We'll see you tomorrow at 10:15 a.m. with Keith Smith and Real Talk. It's going to be a good one. So long.